Ladies and gentlemen, warm-blooded ones, would you please welcome your vampire host extraordinaire and the only immortal host in the world, not to mention my great friend, Count Mozart.
Guten Nacht. I am Count Mozart, your vampire host extraordinaire and the only immortal host in the world. Introducing the bold, the beautiful, the beguiling and the bewitching Bela.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Count.
Hello, darling. How are you
Bela.
tonight?
I'm good, and you?
I'm feeling groovy.
Bela.
Tonight, Bella, the show is on the board of the great beyond.
The Ouija board.
The Ouija board. Known throughout time, it's been around. Some people call it the Ouija. Some people call it Ouija.
Oh no.
What do you think about this Ouija board?
I think it's a portal to to connect with the spirits.
I agree. You know, it's been around for a very long time. Well, maybe not in the incarnation that you see it today. You know, Parker Brothers, or Hasbro maybe took it over or something like this. But you know, every culture has had, spiritual writings. Every culture has tried to reach the great beyond, right?
Yes.
To reach, loved ones of, the past and the spiritual world. When did this thing start really taking off, though, in like the Western?
Yeah, actually kind of started back in the 19th century. The Civil War. They tried to sell it to the wives of the, all the husbands who passed away in the war, and they sell a lot of, they used to call them the talkie boards.
Yeah, witch boards, talking boards.
Yeah, they didn't have really the Ouija name until later on.
And how'd they get the Ouija name? The woman. There was like a woman. There was like a few people who had their hands on this board.
I think they connected a spirit, and the spirit supposedly gave the name.
Wow.
And they say
spelled it out, Ouija.
Right, Ouija, and according to the spirit, it meant good luck.
It works.
It
But
does.
a lot of things work. I mean, look at seances. Seances have always been big, Now, where's the problem, right? The problem starts with the people who are trying to pull things over on people, the scammers. And they're trying to, they're fake, So that becomes a problem because then real things, people don't believe them.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't believe a lot of stuff. Don't you think that people should be more open-minded to things?
Oh, I agree.
I mean, but getting back to this Ouija board, there's rules to how you play it. It was, think about this. This thing, the planchette, it's this heart-shaped or it could be triangular-shaped, and it always is used in this, this type of medium.
Right.
You ask a question and it moves. You put your hands on it. But there were other incarnations of this where they'd have these things hanging and, like a pointer and, all cultures, even the Chinese, like 1100, BC or whatever, they had these things. These writings. It was called like Fuji, I think, in China, which was, planchette writing. So it was, in other words, there'd be some kind of writing utensil, and then they would speak to the spirits of the beyond, and it would write with whatever the medium was that you had.
Right.
Like table knockings, seances. You ask a question, it would tilt. The table would tilt to a letter, or it's very complicated, but that's how it worked.
So it's old. I mean, not only the Western culture, but
all around the world, because there's something to it. Everybody, and it's that time of the season right now. You have to be careful with that Ouija board. Now, in the movie The Exorcist, which we're going to cover next week, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into deep details on that movie, so get ready. I don't know, Bella, are you really looking forward to that one?
I know.
I don't know.
So much to tell.
We better light some candles. But with this Ouija board, okay, I'm gonna spill some beans right now.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm telling you right now, it works.
I know.
Count Mozart has used it before.
Oh, okay. So you have a story behind.
I have a story. I won't name names, but I'll tell the story of what happened to Count Mozart.
Okay.
So Count Mozart, back in the day, was playing with a friend, and we had a mutual friend who had passed away in a very traumatic way. A very bad way. They were killed at an early age in a specific way. And I knew this person very well. He was a very good friend of mine when I was young, when I was young Count Mozart. Wonderful, wonderful young man. And now this other friend that I did the Ouija with, he also knew this person, and he knew the person who my friend was with when they died. So there's this little connection here.
Right.
And we were asking about specifically my friend, who he didn't really know that well at all. He never visited his home, never went on, little excursions with him. He just knew of him. He didn't really know him. You know what I mean? But I did. But, years had passed, and I didn't remember certain things. So he asked a question of this guy's pet. He says, "What was the name of your pet?" And I'm thinking, and I remember Count Mozart wasn't really touching the thing, because I was figuring, I'll let this guy, if it's, he's monkeying around, it'll move. And it moved, and it went to a letter. And the letter was Q.
Okay.
We're both looking at each other, and whatever that means. Okay. And then we blah blah blah, and it does a few more things, and it's it was spelling out stuff,
Right.
and some of it not so good. But anyway, we were thinking we're talking to this old friend of mine, and then I'm like, man, I'm getting a little Count Mozart doesn't like the vibe anymore. Let's can it.
Right.
So we ended the game and put it away, put it up on a shelf. How many families have had this Ouija board in their houses?
Yeah. I think almost every family back in the 1920s had a Ouija board in their houses.
Forget about the 1920s. What about the 70s and 80s? I mean, everybody's got it.
Oh yeah, everybody got
20s.
it. Yeah, but a lot of people got rid of them after the movie The Exorcist.
Oh yeah. Well, first the price, the stock rose because they were into it, and then they got rid of them because they were scared of getting possessed.
People got scared. Yes.
But back to this story. So me and my friend, we stopped and we were just sitting around, and Count Mozart, something came to Count Mozart's mind.
What was
out
that?
of nowhere. Well, I'm thinking about the last question we asked, which was, what was the name of your pet? It wasn't even a dog or a cat. We didn't ask. He didn't ask that. He said pet, and he didn't know.
Right.
And it went to this letter Q. And he's looking at me, and next thing you know, he says to me, "What's the matter with you, Count Mozart?" Because he sees a look on Count Mozart's face of dread.
Right.
And you know what came to Count Mozart? This boy, when he was a boy, this person who passed away, did have a dog, and the dog's name was named Susie.
Right.
And you want to know what they called it as a nickname?
What's that?
Susie Q.
Ooh,
Let me tell you
Q
something.
is there.
I never touched that thing again in my life. Now, some people are going to say, "Oh, but Count Mozart, it's it's your consciousness and your that kind of thing."
Yeah, some people say it's the subconscious.
Your subconsciousness. What did I say? Your consciousness?
Your subconscious.
Your subconscious mind pulled that out and did it. I said, well, first of all, you don't know how Count Mozart's mind works, because one thing I would not do is go to the letter Q. If the dog's name was Susie, which it was, and I never called it no Susie, but I remembered that's what he called his dogs, but not all the time.
You remember later on.
I remember later on, it came to me that evening, because I kept thinking about it. I'm like, what a weird, why would it go to that letter? And it dawned on me that's like a nickname for this dog. But trust me, folks, it wasn't me. I did not do it, and it went to this letter. Why wouldn't it spell out the word?
Right.
It goes to the Q. That's the weird thing.
How come it didn't go to the S?
Why wouldn't it go to the S and the U and the...
Right.
Right. I mean, now you can dismiss it, but let me tell you, you feel the vibe. You feel the energy. Now you gotta respect
So you think your friend was connected?
who knows if it's your friend
or you
what
think
you're
was
doing.
you
like just never know, do you?
a known entity right there?
Well, what does it say about the... Don't you have notes about, like, what like, certain religions have...
yes, actually,
what they
yes.
have said about it.
In 2005, Catholic bishops called the boards to be banned and warned congregations that they were talking to demons.
So and that was just recently. So they're telling their congregations not to play with this Ouija board.
Exactly, because they think that they're
You can summon up
connecting.
demons.
Yeah, you
But you can
connecting.
summon up. Listen, folks. If you're, you know what? Even if you're doing like meditation, you can summon up. But you can summon up bad things. I mean, hey, have you ever heard of a guy named Crowley, Aleister Crowley? Who's that? The occultism.
I think with the tarot cards.
He was into all that.
I remember the tarot cards. They have tarot cards with that name.
And he did get into the Ouija too. And he knew it worked. He goes, well, you got to sit in do the circle and that star. You get it, and and you can summon up specific ones. Like they know how to do that kind of stuff. Like to keep certain ones out, certain ones in. If you believe in that stuff, folks. But it is the time of year for that, right, Bella? What are little stories you got about it?
Right. No. I heard stories. I even remember me playing as a little kid. With my brother and sister. And I remember the thing moving, and I remember I panicked, and we kind of stopped it. Yeah. But they say you got to follow the rules. That's another thing.
And what are the rules?
And the rules, part of the rules is like you got to dismiss the entity. Like when it's time to end it, you say goodbye.
Oh, and that's why the goodbye is on the board?
That's very important.
You have to be respectful.
Because otherwise you're going to open the portal, and then that entity is going to be around.
You're freaking Count Mozart out, you know that?
You're in your house. They said never playing in the cemetery.
Cemetery?
I know we have a great coming up.
Well, we don't know, but you know what? Listen, that's another thing, folks. Halloween, we're going to come to you from a very hallowed place. We are going to go on location. It's going to chill your bones, let's just put it that way, and no one does what the Count and Bella do for you. Trust me. We love you so much, and by the way, you know what? It's going to be a great time. Yes. But let's get back to this Ouija board.
Yes. So they say you got to follow the rules. That's very important.
Follow the rules.
Yes, when you play that. They used to market it for children, for families.
Yeah.
But then now it's like considered more like a kind of dangerous game.
Now let me ask you this. Is it dangerous because they don't want you to experience this stuff, or is it really dangerous? Like, most people don't care what they do to you. You know what I mean? They put poison in your food and all this kind of crap. What do they care about a Ouija board?
Well, they say, they link.
They? Who's they?
People, I think because a lot of things happen, like people experience a lot of things.
Oh, stuff happens.
People die. Yeah. After playing the Ouija board, they die in a strange way. Or, or like this, whatever demons maybe possess people, and they were like,
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think I gotta light a candle. You know what?
So, it's very scary. Let me put it like that.
Nothing scares Count Mozart. I'll bite him in the neck. Listen, they should be afraid of me. I'll step on them with my boots, my platforms. Listen, I like this Ouija board. By the way, they would say if you put there's a sun and a moon, it's like yes and no.
Yes.
And if it's really cooking, if you put your hands on the sun or the moon, if it's warm, then it's really, it's really rocking. Know what I mean?
Yes. I know. I mean, there's hundreds of stories out there, and and again, the people who doesn't believe in it, and they say it's just your subconscious moving it, your energy, whatever. It's nothing like a spiritual or anything like that.
But everybody has energy, so it's got to work.
It's got to work, but they trying to just convince people it's not a big deal. It's not a demon. It's not a bad spirit.
What if it's an angel?
Oh, talking about angel, actually now they came out with the angel board.
The angel board?
Because I think they want to, how life is, everything marketing, So they don't want people to be afraid. And they came out with the angel board, which looks very much like the Ouija board. It's the same process. They put like an angel picture on the board, and supposedly, they try to connect with angels. But like even the Christians believe it's just, it's just the devil disguising in this, angel board.
Well, I mean, there is something to say to some of these things. People that look. I'll put it in this way, Bella, and I think you can understand this. When you do something really bad, there's there's something that gets on you. It's almost like dark matter.
Right.
That's, I think, what we're talking about, which is the evil that there is in the world, folks. It exists. I think you all know that. And then there's good that exists. You do something really wonderful. Someone says something very nice to you that day, or someone treats you good. It's just a mood, and you feel great, right?
Correct.
So I think you got to go with those instincts again. We've talked about since the beginning of the show, since the inception of the show, is following your instincts, and but these kind of things are attractive to people, so especially young people, Bella. So what do you say to that? I mean, can they still do this, but yet still kind of if they're more spiritually grounded, or maybe, I don't know, or just stay away from it altogether?
I think the young ones should stay away from it.
They're not ready.
Maybe older people more like, but young people, no.
Well, like, it was funny in the Alice Cooper one, you said that they were playing with it. And I know they did too with Jim Morrison. I know Alice was in the room. They had a group, and there was a girl who did this thing, and they did like a seance, and they used the Ouija and all that kind of stuff. And Jim was like, "You guys do this a lot?" You know what I mean? He was kind of like, "What's going on?" And so there was some guy, and he fell through a hole that. Like they were not in the basement, but something like a room below, and the other guys were up, and somebody fell through, and
Robert Krieger.
Krieger from The Doors,
Oh,
yes.
I didn't remember him. Wow.
Yeah.
We all sat holding hands, and I remember Jim Morrison turns to me and says, "You guys do this a lot?" No, we just did it, but we just did it because you were coming.
The seance started out with just let's have a seance. Okay, how do you do a seance? And everybody, I don't know, I've never been to one, but Norma, she said, I'll do the seance. And Norma was a friend of ours, and she set it all up and drew pentagrams on the floor and dressed it up with weeds or dried flowers and stuff like that. And the time of the seance, Jim Morrison was there and all these other people.
So, a lot of people have done this thing.
Yes.
It's been around the block.
Yes.
They changed the story on that Alice Cooper thing too. Did you know that? Like, I don't know if you guys watch our Alice Cooper one, but he kind of changed his tune and said, I just came up with the name.
No, supposedly they were playing the Ouija board, and the Ouija board.
But everybody changes stories. Don't you
Said
hate that?
that he was a witch, whatever, or he was.
I know.
Or
He was a female witch.
right
He was
there,
burned and da-da-da-da-da.
and that's
Alice
how he
Cooper.
got the name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard that too.
And I heard many times.
But then they changed it.
I think he changed the tune because, after he
Right.
rehab and everything, he became more spiritual and he wants to be more close to Christ. And, maybe
Yeah, maybe
change
we
the
should send him a
story.
Ouija board for a Christmas gift. Anyway, but yes, I never touched that thing again because it worked.
It does
I mean, it
work.
worked.
It
I wouldn't make
does
that up.
work.
Now, again, the naysayers are saying it's your energy. I can't. Camp Mozart's open-minded. Listen, we are full of energy. Magnetic energy, really, and you could do that. We have very strong minds. It's true, but there is something else to the universe too. So you got to be open to that.
Right, and I think mostly attracts like bad spirits, because I think the good spirits are really gone.
They moved on.
Yeah, I think they're really the bad ones are the ones that stick
Yeah,
around.
they want to get to you.
So you don't.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a good thing.
You know what, folks? How about this? How about we leave it at this? Proceed with caution. Use at your own risk.
Yes.
But if you have a story, send it to Count Mozart. I'd love to read it. Maybe we'll read it on air, or send us a comment about your Ouija story, a real one. I really want to know, right, Bella?
Absolutely.
Like if you guys have stories of something that happened to you, maybe we do a show on it. You send us enough comments, or you email, go to countmozart.com and send a bunch of emails about experience you had with this Ouija or anything like that. Anything, almost anything. Any kind of supernatural stories. We could do a big show and we could involve you, Send me your name and your story and I'll read it on air. Maybe we'll take a call with you.
Yes,
You know what?
great.
By the way, we're going to start doing some call-in interviews just like the radio. I mean, I love that. Forget about that Zoom stuff and everything. I can do the Zoom in 2 seconds. But I almost want to do that thing like a vintage kind of thing where people just call in.
Yeah, the old way.
The old way. No one has to care about how they look on, camera and stuff like that. We can put a picture up so you know who you're talking to and have a really... Because you know what? I think a lot of times when people are on camera, they're not always so forthcoming. And they're more concerned about their nose hairs than they are about their wonderful stories like the Ouija stories.
That's true.
So you know what I mean? So they'll be able to really go. So You know what? Great. First of all, Dynamite shirt. Beware, I bite. I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but that's the Dynamite shirt. And listen, that was a great show. It was a little creepy.
Yeah. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. Halloween's
coming
what?
up.
I don't know. It's in just a few days, really.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love you so much. We are so happy. We're coming up on our anniversary, and we got a lot of big things coming up. The shop is opening at CountMozart.com and other places. We're working with this wonderful brand new company called Bela to Boris, and they are providing us with some wonderful new merchandise, which is going to be, this is high-end stuff, folks. This is, you know how people sell t-shirts? Yeah, you're going to get t-shirts, but designer t-shirts. These are going to be high-end stuff, handmade, hand-stitched. It's going to knock you out. But with that said, we shall return for our Halloween show, but before then, we're going to do that Exorcist show. Tying into this Ouija board, really. You know?
Scary times.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to do it. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, we do. We give the info.
Well, we got to do something.
course.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we love you all. We shall return. Bella,
We promise.
we promise. And we love you all. So, get ready. Get ready for the anniversary. Guys, thank you for everything. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Exorcist. It's going to be a good one. Right, Bella? Good night, everybody.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Have a good night. Good night.